today, everybody, we are joined by two outstanding professionals here at Ashland University's campus. The first is Dr. Rob Pohl, who currently serves as our Vice President of Student Affairs here on campus. So Dr. Pohl has come to us and done some amazing things in terms of connecting our students, as well as providing some awesome opportunities. So Dr. Pohl is on the call. If you'd like to say anything to our future students, we'd love if you had the opportunity now.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kyle, and we appreciate you guys allowing us to talk with you folks. For our students who are on the line, our future students, welcome. I know the journey is not yet complete, and we've got some interesting paths in front of us till we get through this COVID virus and the response, but we are so looking forward to the fall as soon as we can have our students back and to welcome our new students on campus. We're all preparing and gearing up for a wide variety of scenarios, but most of which is to see your faces, meet you, meet your families. So we're looking forward to that. I oversee the area of Ashland University life that complements the classroom. We are trained professionals in our areas of student life, residence life, all across the health spectrum. So counseling, wellness, health center, recreational sports, Christian ministries, all the way across the student spectrum. We serve our students learning in life outside the classroom and complement their learning. So I've been here for about 2 years, and July I think will be my second year anniversary, and can say with confidence we've got an amazing team. You'll notice at the orientation, assuming we get to move forward with a face-to-face environment, very high energy. My team, many of whom are AU alumni, love this place dearly, and we know that our students who are coming from all across the United States come with lots of questions, so we're here to help answer those questions. But thank you so much for allowing me to be on the call, and we hope that we can serve you guys well, not just before you arrive, of course, but for four more years, perhaps even longer if folks stay on as a graduate student. Thank you, Kyle and Henry, for letting me address these wonderful people.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Pohl, for being here with us. And we are also joined by our Assistant Dean of Student Affairs today, Nicole Dyer. So Nicole is going to go through and talk to you guys a little bit more specifically about some different involvement opportunities here on campus, as well as student life.
Unmuting myself is a helpful thing to do. But hi, everybody. Thank you so much to the admissions staff for giving me this opportunity to kind of talk with you about some of the involvement opportunities that we have on campus. And I just have to tell you that as an alumna of the university, I just really value student involvement and what it does for students in terms of growth, for you as a person, discovering who you are, leaning into your gifts and talents, and just really growing as a person and a leader. And so I'm excited to share this information with you today. So Kyle has some slides here. So we're going to go through the slides, and then later we're actually going to do a live demonstration of a new software program that we have. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get started here, but you can stay on this slide, Kyle. But as I said, we really place a lot of value on helping each students find a sense of belonging and community. And as a product of that, I can tell you that there are so many great ways to find that sense of community. But we do believe that one of the best ways to do that is to empower students like yourselves to really just get involved beyond the classroom. Now, that may seem a little counterproductive, I guess, because you're coming to Ashland University to earn a degree, and so you'll be spending time in the classroom, of course, learning about your field of interest that you have and those types of things. But the reality of a college student and their life is that they spend the majority of time outside the classroom. So we really like to take some of that time and be pretty intentional about it. And so today we're going to be talking about how to find clubs and events on campus. And then we're going to highlight some of the fun campus traditions that you have to look forward to as part of your college experience. So Kyle, you can go ahead to the next slide. Something new that we're going to highlight today is a software program called Engage Ashland, and it's Engage for short. So that's what we call it here. And what Engage does is it helps students to learn more about our student organizations. We have about 130 of them. Join those student organizations with one click, and that will begin in August. And then it also allows students to easily find hundreds and hundreds of campus events. And so through the next couple of slides, what I'm going to show you is just how to navigate first through this slide deck, and then we're actually going to do a live demonstration later. So this is a screenshot of ashland.edu. And essentially, when you navigate to ashland.edu, you're going to see basically this or one of the other pictures that we have highlighted here. And you're going to see a tab in the upper right-hand corner called My AU. And you can go ahead to the next slide there, Kyle. What you're going to do is click on My AU, and here's a little pro tip for everybody. That little tab is actually going to be super helpful for you as a college student because we have a lot of different resources that you're going to need to gain access to Blackboard and your Eagle card and the portal and a password reset tool and web advisor. I just wanted to point that out to you that this will kind of be a lifesaver for you as you try to demonstrate, as you navigate some of the resources that we have on our website. But one of those is Engage Ashland. And so if you click on that, and Kyle, you can go to the next slide, it'll actually take you to the home page of Engage Ashland. And so what I'm going to have Kyle do later is we're actually going to walk through a live demonstration of how to navigate to one of the tabs that I think will be super helpful for you as an incoming student, and that's going to be the Organizations tab. So before we do that, though, I do want to say, as I mentioned earlier, finding a sense of belonging and community on campus is really important. It's a really important part of your college experience. And so I cannot stress enough that we'd really love for you to explore that Organizations tab. Again, we'll explore it today during a live demonstration, but also when you have some time just on your own, just to kind of take a look at some of the sport clubs that we have, diversity and inclusion organizations, fraternity and sorority life, establishing or growing your faith, volunteer service organizations. We even have some of the more unique organizations on campus like the Quidditch team, Falconry Club. We actually have a falcon on campus. He has his own little house. But if you can't find what you're looking for, even if you've explored all 130 organizations that we have, if you can't find what you're looking for, we really encourage you to talk to our student life team about creating a new organization, because we can certainly help you do that, which lots of students do. And we typically have about, I would say between, depending on the year, between 5 and 10 new organizations starting every fall semester. So really a great opportunity for you to do that. So again, before we do that live demonstration of Engage, I'm going to switch gears here and talk a little bit about some of our campus event traditions. You can advance to the next slide there, Kyle. Thank you. And you can go on to the next one too. The Campus Activities Board is CAB for short, but they're the main social programming club on campus. And every semester, CAB plans a variety of large-scale events for students. And so one of those that we have every fall semester is the Food Truck Festival. And it is an outdoor evening event. It has a ton of food options provided by food trucks from Cleveland and Columbus and Akron. And if I can just set the scene for you here for a second, just imagine lots of string lights hanging from the trees, hammocks, picnic blankets, some really great music, a lot of new friends, and of course we have all of the free food you could possibly imagine from all the food trucks. Our next campus tradition has been around for about 40 years. I know this is one of Kyle's favorites. It's called the Banana SPLITTIN competition, and during our annual homecoming week festivities in October, we have about 50 teams that will go head-to-head to compete in 1, 2, or 3 categories. And those categories are best costume, fastest eaters, most creative eating style. And they do all of those different categories all while eating banana splits. So if you can imagine just 50 tables end to end, it's just crazy and chaotic and messy, and it's just a wonderful event that we just love. I will tell you that our fastest eaters the track team has dominated that category for a number of years, so we're looking for people who can just come in and take over the reign on that Fastest Eaters title. But everybody who participates receives a free t-shirt. The winner in each category receives trophies. Last year we had a really cool trophy created that looked like a banana split. So that was pretty awesome. And then of course we sometimes throw in a cash prize, just depending on the year. But it's certainly a crazy time, and banana splitting is, again, one of our most loved traditions that we have on campus. Another highlight of our annual homecoming week is an event called Pizza Pizza Pizza. And this, again, is another crazy event that we just love. It's a huge fan fest. It's held right before our homecoming football game. And I have to tell you that we serve over 375 large pizzas. That's almost 4,000 slices of pizza in about 90 minutes. So it is crazy and awesome. And we also have some things that different activities that people can take part in. We have giveaways, and it's a really fun time because it brings together students and professors and their families and staff and alumni, and it's a really, really, it's a really fun time. Now, one of our newer traditions that we have is called Festival on Founders, and that will be one of your first event experiences on Ashland's campus as an AU student, if we, like Dr. Poole said, if we are able to go ahead with our fall plans. And this is a combination of music, some live music sometimes, food, lawn games, and the basic thing is the focus is the involvement fair. And so it's called Festival on Founders, and the involvement fair piece is probably the highlight because we have over 75 of our student organizations on hand, all the student leaders who run those different organizations on hand to answer your involvement questions, to help you get connected to campus life, and this will be happening hopefully during orientation weekend. So want to make sure that I put the bug in your ear now to kind of check that out, because it is a great, it's one of your great first opportunities to kind of get connected. So aside from just a few of those annual traditions we've highlighted, there are really so many opportunities to become involved and connected here at AU. So I'm going to ask Kyle to go ahead and navigate to the AU homepage, and we're going to do a walkthrough of Engage. And while he's setting that up for us, if you do have any questions, I just want to remind you to go ahead and put that in the chat function, and we can help you answer those questions.
All right, just give me 1 second here.
Okay, so here we are live on the Ashland University website. And essentially, all you have to do, so that My AU tab, so all you have to do to get here is go to ashland.edu. That's it. And then click on that My AU tab in that right corner, and you're going to scroll down to Engage Ashland. Yep, and go ahead and click it. And what it's going to do is going to bring you to the home page of Engage Ashland. And again, we call this Engage for short. Now, once you have a username and password, you're actually going to be able to log into the system by simply clicking the Sign In button. We're not going to do that today because we want to make sure that you know that you still have access to some of these tabs, even though you're not logged in. So today we're going to explore the Organizations tab. So Kyle, if you want to go ahead and click on the Organizations tab, we're going to kind of walk you through what this looks like. So again, not logged in, you have access to look at all the different organizations that we have on campus. Kyle, if you scroll down all the way to the bottom of the page, you'll see that it says we have one of 20 of 140 organization pages. Now, a handful of those are actually department pages like Fraternity and Sorority Life, Career Services, Student Life has one. So the majority are student organizations, but you'll also run into a couple of department pages as well where you can find more information about getting involved. You can go ahead and scroll back up. I'm going to show you some of the features of this particular page. If you look to the left where it says organizations, there's actually a little search bar that says search organizations. So if you know what you're looking for, and we'll actually navigate to a couple here, but if you know what you're looking for, all you have to do is type it into that search function. If you're not quite sure what you're looking for, but you know that there's a particular category maybe that you're interested in, you can go ahead and click on that select categories arrow, and it will actually give you some different options to kind of scroll through different categories. Some diversity and inclusion, some things related to academics, and those types of things. You always want to remember, once you click on that you do have to click off of it to be able to scroll through the page. And then you'll be all set and ready to go. So let's go ahead and navigate. Since I've already talked about CAB, let's go ahead and type in CAB in that search organization. CAB, again, is the main social programming organization on campus. They do a lot of large-scale events, like those traditions that I shared with you a little bit earlier. So initially what you're going to see is just kind of just a general description of what the organization does. Once you click on that, it's going to take you to a larger description, and it's also going to have a few more functions here that'll be helpful for you. So underneath the description, you'll see it says contact information, and underneath that you'll see our email address. So if you wanted to get a hold of CAB, you can certainly email CAB, and one of our student leaders would respond to you if you have any questions about it. The other thing that you can do is that right underneath that there are some icons for social media. Those are clickable, and so if you click on any of those, it'll actually take you to our Instagram page or our Twitter page. Yep. So you'll know then how to follow CAB on Twitter, and if you click the back button, it'll take you back to that page, and go ahead and click on the Instagram icon as well. It'll take you to CAB's Instagram, and right now we're celebrating our seniors, so we're doing a lot of senior Sunday spotlights, which is pretty exciting because these folks are graduating in May, so we're very excited for them, very proud of all the work they've done with this organization and also as a student. Go ahead and click the back button on that one. So some student organizations will have Instagram listed, Twitter, some have a YouTube page, others will have Facebook. But you'll be able to actually click on those icons and navigate to their social media pages, which will just give you a better vibe in terms of what kind of organization it is, who's involved, and those types of things. The other thing that you can do on this page is you can go to the right side and click on the contact button. So let's say that you wanted to contact CAB. All you have to do is enter your name and your email address, and then there's an option for you to select the subject. And so if you have a question about getting involved, or you have a question about an event that we're hosting in the fall semester, you can certainly use those functions to kind of take a look at that as well. I'll have you click the back button then. So that's the campus activities board. Now I do want to, if you scroll down a little bit, I do want to make mention of this. Again, because we're not logged in, it's telling you that we don't have any upcoming events. And although that's not true, it's just because we don't have any, as CAB as an organization, we don't have any public-facing events right now. And so typically, if you were logged in, you would see all the events that CAB hosts. And CAB hosts between 17 and 20 large-scale events per semester, so about 40 per academic year. And again, if you navigated to this page while you were logged in, you would be able to view all of those things. So I don't want you to think that we don't have any events. We do have a lot of event options, but right now we're looking at it in terms of a more minimal access point. So we'll go ahead and go click the back button, Kyle, I think. And maybe let's just click on organizations again, just to do a fresh start here. So let's go to the search bar right there and type in sorority. Yeah, so then what this will do is kind of bring up all the different sororities that we have on campus. We have 4 sororities, and we also have 4 fraternities. And so you can, in your own time, sort of click through each of these and get a general idea of each of the sororities that we have on campus, or fraternities. And then fraternity and sorority life, that is the Department of Fraternity and Sorority Life. And so that kind of gives you, they are kind of the umbrella of all the different sororities and fraternities that we have on campus. Now let's go to, let's go ahead to the select categories. And let's click on diversity and inclusion. Okay, so these are the different organizations that we have that focus on diversity and inclusion efforts on campus. Some of them are a little bit newer than others, but you can see there's a wide variety. We have an American Sign Language Club, Black Student Alliance, Brothers in Action, Diversity on Campus, Eagles for Pride, International Club, and then of course we have the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, and then the Melting Pot. I want to highlight the ASL Club. If you want to go back up to ASL and click on that one for us. This is one of the newer clubs that we have on campus, but they have about 200 members. For just becoming a brand new club, that's pretty amazing. So they meet weekly as an organization and essentially learn sign language. And there's just a lot of student interest on this, and Maggie George is the president, and she is just very enthusiastic and very excited. And so she definitely has a lot of students taking part in this organization. And again, just wanted to point out also on the ASL page, they do have contact information. That contact button is still there, so you are able to contact even though you're not logged in. And you can also click on their Instagram page. It looks like they have a link there for that. We'll go ahead and go back. The other organization that I want to highlight is the Melting Pot. Also a fairly new organization, but this is a it's a worship service. It's a student-led worship service that they have every second and fourth Monday of every month, and they really have a focus on diversity and inclusion. And I cannot stress enough, they started off as, the student leaders of this started off as a small Bible study in one of the residence halls, and quickly grew to the auditorium in our student center, which seats about 150 people. They quickly outgrew that and then started having their worship service in Redwood Hall, which seats, at max capacity, it seats probably about 600. But if you click on their Instagram page, it'll give you a better idea. So yeah, I just encourage you to kind of click through. You can scroll down and see just some of the students that have been involved. There's a great picture of people preaching and just some really great things, so you can get a better vibe of what the Melting Pot is about. But I do encourage you to, that picture right there on the right-hand side that Kyle just highlighted, that is Redwood Hall. And so you can see from a small Bible study to what they have created, this movement that they've created on campus is just, it's amazing. And again, all student led. So we'll go ahead and click the back button on that. I also want to highlight, let's go to organizations tab again. And then let's go to select categories. Let's do maybe awareness and advocacy. And then let's scroll down and see if we can find AU Gives. That's the one that I'm looking for. Yeah, Ashland University gets involved with volunteer service. So we also have a service organization on campus. Now, a lot of our student organizations do volunteer service on their own, but we also have this organization called AU Gives, which stands for Ashland University Gets Involved with Volunteer Service, who hosts different volunteer service opportunities in the community and also on campus. And so they have 6 different teams, and I'm not going to read all those teams to you because you can take a look kind of on your own. But again, same thing here. They have their Facebook and Instagram and Twitter listed. So you can definitely start following that organization if you're interested in doing some volunteer service. If you have a particular question for AU Gives, you can always use that contact button. Okay, we can go ahead and click the back button here. There you go. Let's see. So I think you kind of get the general idea. I'm going to have you scroll up. I do want you to click on the events tab because I do want to make note of something just again. So while you're here, if you're clicking on the events tab, the reason that you're only seeing one event is because we're not logged in. And so this event is actually listed as public, which means anybody who navigates this URL will be able to see it. So I wanted to point it out to you. I don't want you to think that we don't have any events on campus because we do have a lot. And this year, I think I mentioned this earlier, but this academic year, we, through the Engage system, which we just launched in September of this past semester, we have already had over 620 student-led events registered through Engage. So within one academic year, with just launching this program, we already had over 600 events registered through the system. So once you have your login, this will be the place that you go to see what's going on around campus. But again, I just wanted to make that distinction of why you can't really see any of the events that we have happening right now because we're not logged in. So I think I'm going to end there. And again, just encourage you to navigate to that ashland.edu webpage, go to that My AU tab, click on Engage Ashland, and then start to explore some of those organizations, see what they're all about, contact folks if you're interested in something or have a question. And of course, you can always get a hold of me as well. And we're happy to answer any questions you might have.